Attention citizens, it has come to the attention of many true that some of you have failed to sufficiently praise the state-mandated Snow White movie trailer. Perhaps we didn't make it clear enough during the last wave of executions. You'll like what we damn well tell you to like. As our glorious leader of entertainment Bob Eisner recently said, "White people can kiss my puckered butthole. Anyone who has a problem with us race-swapping Snow White is an alt-right bigot, and I will have their mouths filled with rats and sewn shut." When asked by a reporter if he would ever cast a black actress as Mulan, Eisner replied, "I know where you live and where your daughter goes to school." The reporter was then dragged out of the meeting by her hair and beaten to death by the Ministry of Love. Eisner went on to say that it really bothers him when people have their own opinions. He also said, and I quote, "Fans exist only to pay my obscene salary." While Eisner has not yet decided how he'll punish you mouthy assholes for pointing out that the Snow White trailer looks like something Kamala Harris felched out of Joe Biden's colostomy bag, inside sources assure us it will be even worse than being forced to watch the entire Snow White movie when it is inevitably released for free on Disney+. In other news, a small group of right-wing extremists have released propaganda asking why skin color matters so much to Bob Eisner. To which he responded, "Skin color doesn't matter, as long as it's not white." Disney has acknowledged that this caused a bit of a problem when casting Snow White, since the only thing we know about the character is literally her skin color. Disney has asked the Ministry of Truth to rectify this problem, which brings us to today's history update. As of today, Snow White was created in 1996 by Bob Eisner, and has always been Hispanic. Her name has always been Mocha Auburn, and there were never any goddamn dwarves. Anyone referring to Mocha Auburn by any other name, or making any reference to tiny rotund men in connection to this movie, will be subject to immediate arrest, re-education, and summary execution. We're not kidding. Don't mention the fucking dwarves. The new plot, which has always been the plot, reads as follows. Once upon a time in a land which we respectfully acknowledge as the unceded territory of woodland creatures, there lived a young woman named Mocha Auburn. But let's not reduce her to just her appearance. Mocha Auburn was a fiercely independent, eco-conscious, non-binary girl boss. Her pronouns were they and them, and they had absolutely no time for outdated patriarchal beauty standards. One day, Snow White's evil stepmother, who embodied internalized misogyny and ageism, consulted her magic mirror. The mirror, which was basically a sentient social media algorithm, said, "You are problematic. Mocha Auburn's TikToks are getting way more engagement. Maybe try posting more intersectional feminist content." Furious and feeling threatened by Mocha Auburn's burgeoning influencer status, the stepmother sent toxic fans to cancel them. But Mocha Auburn, wise to the ways of the world, knew that no one could cancel them without their consent, and fled into the forest, wrote a best-selling podcast on radical transgenderism, and held annual inclusive festivals, celebrating the diversity of the forest. The evil stepmother was eventually deplatformed and spent the rest of her days in introspective silence, reflecting on her toxic behavior. Rachel Zegler, who plays Mocha Auburn in the upcoming mega-blockbuster hit movie, has praised the new story, which has always been the only version of the story. Zegler has also released a standard Disney press statement, calling all white people bigots, and preemptively blaming any bad reviews on review bombing by toxic fans. This is the same statement issued by the director of The Acolyte, the developers of Dustborn, and the entire crew and cast of The Marvels. Disney has since decided to release this statement at least a year in advance of any future projects, in an attempt to eliminate duplicate efforts on the part of their employees. Remember, citizens, when a state-sanctioned movie reviewer gives a bad movie a positive review, it's honest journalism. You are required by law to immediately adjust your opinion to match theirs. If you have a negative opinion of a bad movie, you'll keep it to yourself, or will burn your family inside your house while you sleep. Any negative comments regarding a movie you don't like are legally classified as review bombing, even if the producers of the movie have specifically stated that the movie isn't for you, and they don't want you watching it. We'd also like to remind you that failing to watch and support a movie that the producers have said isn't for you is a Class 8 hate crime. When asked by reporters why they keep relying on toxic fans to make their movies and television series successful, Disney replied, "Shut up, and don't ask that question. The aforementioned reporters were then sodomized, skinned alive, and impaled on spikes near the Pirates of the Caribbean ride inside the Magic Kingdom. In related political news, Joe Biden's wife took this opportunity to remind us that it's your patriotic duty to support actors, writers, and corporations who hate you. In a statement released earlier this week, Joe Biden's caretaker noted that only racists would refuse to watch a movie simply because the people who made it hate them. When reminded that Disney has repeatedly told normal white guys that their movies aren't made for them, Biden's mother-wife responded, "Of course these movies aren't made for straight white people. That's why you're a bigot if you don't watch them. Only a bigot wouldn't watch a movie that wasn't made for them." In related news, the Ministry of Truth has awarded Joe Biden a Lifetime Achievement Award for excellence in spewing utter bullshit. Next, a word from our fine sponsors at Ben & Jerry's Ice Cream. Citizens of the new flavor order, we at Ben & Jerry's have a message for you. Diversity, justice, and progress are within reach with every spoonful of our revolutionary ice cream. For too long, the land has been misused, and its true owners marginalized. But now, Ben & Jerry's is here to set things right. We call for the return of all ancestral lands to native communities. It's just the right thing to do. While we advocate for the return of lands across the nation, we remind you that Ben & Jerry's properties are essential to our mission of spreading peace, love, and ice cream. After all, how can we lead the charge for change without our facilities, where we churn out the very flavors that fuel the revolution? Every pint you purchase is a vote to return the land to its rightful native owners. Just not our land, because our ice cream factories are indispensable to the cause. They provide the delicious nourishment needed to keep the movement alive. Ben & Jerry's, we fight for justice, but we also have a business to run. Back to the news, Ben & Jerry's have announced a new flavor tie-in with the new Mocha Auburn movie, called Mocha Caramel Diversity. It's a delicious combination of coffee, chocolate, caramel, Rainbow Pride sprinkles, and absolutely no vanilla. White people, this wasn't made for you, but if it doesn't become a bestseller, we're holding you personally responsible. That's all for now, citizens. Remember, you are required to press like and subscribe. It's your patriotic duty.